Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Gonna let some more people join in here. Give them a sec. Hope everyone's having a good week. Gonna put the itinerary for today in the chat. Hey, Tim.
Hey Ross, how you doing?
Doing good. Making some good progress. Excited to share with everybody today. How's everything going with you?
Yeah, busy actually.
Nice.
We got we got our platform presented in Dubai today, which was nice.
Oh, very cool. A lot of the AI homies are out there, it seems like.
Yeah, they're not in San Francisco, they're in Dubai.
All right. Yeah, that's exciting. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining. We're going to go over a few different things today. We're going to discuss some updates, get your guys' feedback on some things, actually, on some of the new things that we've been working on. We're going to go over the uh, creation of a Discord app quickly. More so to showcase the power of the white label API than anything, and kind of what some of those possibilities are. And then finally, we'll end with our Q&A session at the end. So if you guys have any questions or concerns, we'll get to those in a few minutes. And as always, if you have any comments or anything of anything I'm saying, please put it in the chat, and that way I can see it and I can respond. Alrighty. Yeah, so just a quick start from last week. We have a couple new things that were released that are quite helpful for a few people that have been asking for them. Mainly the multi-URL scraper, which now allows you to add in multiple URLs when you're scraping a website, which is quite helpful. So now you can add in multiple different websites here and individually scrape the URLs or recursively scrape the entire websites for each website that's entered. Now, we allow you to do this, but for those of you that have tested this stuff quite a lot, not always more data is better. So even though you can add in essentially unlimited URLs, try to make it so that way the context of the URLs being entered is still relevant to the conversations that users might be having. That's one of the newer items. And then the other one that I want to mention that we've been getting questions on, where that feature is the summary tabs. So this is the summary on every individual AI agent, and this will give you the conversation history and information about the lead potentially, all in a export of data that can be sent via email or webhook. Now, the reason I want to mention this is one of the ways that you can do further, like you can do more stuff basically to the conversation through this workflow. So you can export the full conversation history to a webhook URL, which then could allow you to pipe that into a Zapier automation, for example, that could then have ChatGPT run a whole secondary prompt and have it do different things based off of what it finds in the conversation history. Now, that feature that of what I just mentioned is something that we're working on internally as well, but this is how you can do that right now. And we actually saw somebody actually told this to us that this is how they're using it. So I wanted to mention that because I thought that was pretty cool. Question: if message is sent by API, how does it determine the end of the chat? It's a good question. So right now, the ending of the chat is done via the button right here. When it's done via the API, it's considered one conversation. We are working on the ability to end the conversation similar like we have the triggers here for uh, the native meta integrations. So this human handoff specifically works for these integrations right now, but we're working on adding this to the main widget. So that will allow you to have the trigger keywords, which then like quote unquote artificially stop it. And then let's see, other Tim, are you in here? Yeah,
Are you talking to me?
yeah. Do we do the
After an
out?
hour.
I was gonna say the
Yeah.
out, yeah, and then the third and final way is that if there's no response after an hour from the user, the conversation will be marked as ended.
Right. And we're looking into, because we just deployed that functionality a week or two ago. So we're looking into making sure that's working as expected, because I think we had a ticket open on it, but we will look into that.
And as well as making it customizable, I believe, as well, right?
Right. Yeah. In the future,
Yeah.
allowing the user to determine what the time frame.
Cool. And then similarly to the summaries on the AI agents themselves, there's also summaries for individual sub accounts. And so inside each sub account under the profile section, there's account notifications that can be sent to the users of this sub account. So if your clients want some data or more information about what's happening daily, weekly, monthly, this is how you can set that up to email them directly with that information, or you can webhook it out into your CRM and then pipe that data through custom values, which could then send an email, etc. We try to give you guys all the possibilities or options depending on how it is that you're running your agency. More and more people that we talk to are using our platform with their CRM hand in hand. So it's very much beneficial to track all that information in your CRM as easily as possible. So that's why we're including these webhooks at pretty much every step. So that way everyone that's using GHL or any of those other platforms can easily do that. All right. So next up, we're going to quickly go over the tutorial on how to set up a Discord app. Now, this is a full video tutorial that I filmed. There's also a full step-by-step guide along with some information that you can copy and paste. So this is going to be like a 90-second hyper tutorial. The idea of this, though, is showing the ability of how you can connect your white label API. So if I log into a white label version of Stammer and I click on the white label API here, this, which is white labeled to your domain, allows you to create things with AI agents outside of the platform. So right now, natively, you have the ability to create AI chatbots, which can be embedded on websites. And that's all good and fine. You can integrate these chatbots with the Meta platform natively, all good and fine. But let's say I want to make a Discord app or a Slack app or something that is not specific to something that we have built out. Well, we can use the API to essentially create any type of custom app that we want. And the benefit of this is it's not exposing the Stammer branding even at the code level. So when you are offering additional services or additional access to your clients, and this is something that we're starting to see more and more, is people want these AI agents more deeply integrated into their platforms. And this is where custom functions originated, being able to pull data from a Shopify store or a protected set of data. You can use the API to create apps for other platforms. And so one of those examples or one of those use cases is how you can create a custom application for Discord that anybody can use, anybody could install to their server. So a couple use cases for this. Obviously, there's the customer support and selling this to a business as, hey, if you have your community in Discord, then you can put a bot in there and people can query it and ask questions. And Tim did that the other day with a bot inside the Discord, inside the Stammer Discord. And once we got that one up and working, I was like, oh, I got to flip this into a tutorial so everyone knows how to do this themselves, because there's a lot of other cooler use cases where you could train bots on specific communities or on specific influencers, for example, people who have an audience, and those can then interact with the people inside the Discord platform natively as if it was a bot made for that server, organically or whatever. That being said, it's quite simple. There's this code that you can copy and paste into a Replit, into a new Replit here. And if you're not familiar with Replit, it's a online platform that allows you to write and run code. But the cool thing is we don't need to necessarily worry about writing anything, because all we're having to do is simply copy and paste. So we're copying and pasting that information, and we need these 4 different values. And the 2 that I want to highlight here, the API key from Stammer AI and the chatbot UUID. That's how you connect any platform to your version of Stammer. And so you get your API key right here, this API token. This is the value right here. And if you click the little button here, it'll copy it to your clipboard and then you can paste it anywhere. So that's the first piece. And then the second piece is the UUID. And that's going to identify the specific AI agent. And it's like just like a little number here, AI agent UUID. And so this code identifies to outside platforms which AI agent is needing to be connected here. So once we have those values, we can simply paste them in right here and right here. And then everything on the Stammer side is connected. Inside Discord, we create a new application. And then we do a few things like adding it to a server. Once it's added to a server, we can get a code that we paste in here and we click run and we're done. And so this full tutorial is right here, step by step. If you're looking to replicate this for yourself or one of your clients, that's how you can do it, with everything being branded to your agency, because you can control every aspect of the app at that point, who it gets allowed to be resold to or wherever it may be. Tim, any other things I'm missing on that?
Not that I can think of. It was perfect. And well, I guess one thing, I don't know if you mentioned this. So when you add the bot to a channel, you may need to manually define in that channel's permission settings its permissions, essentially.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Yeah. So once you add it to a server, you can give it permissions, which then add it to certain channels, or you can add it, and this is more of like a Discord thing, but you can add it as an actual member to a specific channel. Like, so that will make sure
Right.
that it works.
And I saw someone in the Discord was having an issue. That's probably related to this. So try that. But also remember, anytime you get an error message, just throw it into ChatGPT or Claude, whatever you're using, and just tell it what you're attempting to do. And it usually can help you know what the next steps are to troubleshooting that error.
Yes, ChatGPT is our friend. All right. So next up, we've got a couple things to mention. And Tim, I mean, you'd be a great candidate to provide some feedback here. So a couple of the things that we've been working on, vision and voice, aside from a lot of the other platform updates and things. When it comes to vision, we are basically done with it, but we have a couple use cases, and we are curious if you had any ideas or use cases that, and this opens, to everyone listening here. We're trying to just go through the testing process with this specific feature with different use cases in mind. So that way, when it's released, it will work for all of these different use cases. And so for those of you that may not be familiar, vision is essentially the ability to upload images to a chatbot, and then the AI can look at the image and generate a response. So so we're looking into doing that. So yeah, any thoughts or ideas?
Would that happen from a camera on a phone then? So you'll be able to take a picture in live chat session, take an image of something you were looking at, and that would be the image which was uploaded into the chat.
Yes. It would have to be a photo that's already on the camera roll to start, but eventually we could probably add in a permissions button for mobile to open up your camera app. Like right now, it just showed the little image icon, and you'd click it, and then you would click the image that you want to upload, and then click send, or write a message and click send, and then the AI would be able to read the image just like in ChatGPT and then respond accordingly.
Yeah, sure. I think from an accessibility point of view, I mean, if you've got to do multiple steps to make that thing work, it's going to be more clunky, I guess, rather than something that's a bit more seamless where you can automatically flow through. But obviously, I understand you've got to get the application working first, and then if that works, then you can enhance from there.
Yeah, and that's been our philosophy for since day one. So okay, well, that's good feedback. Lim says maybe can allow a standalone prompt to handle the image upload. Example, any image upload is assumed as a receipt or something, or a screenshot, which we will extract the data for analysis or processing. That is basically the idea. A standalone prompt, that could be interesting. One of the things that we're trying to keep in mind as we extend the functionality and prompt capabilities of the bots is to try to keep things as simple as possible. And right now there are a couple different prompts the leads prompt and the scheduling prompt that you can customize as needed. But we're trying to figure out ways to simplify those. So standalone prompt might be good, but that might also cause some extra complexity.
Yeah, hi. Okay, the reason why I say standalone prompt, right, is that um, unlike the scheduling and so on, which you are determining what kind of logic to go and you select which prompt to go. But
Mhm.
for images, it's straightforward. We know the upload, what kind of file is uploaded. It can be PDF, can be an image and so on. So going forward, it can extend to many things. But we can say that, okay, image, we use this prompt. PDF,
Mm,
we use another prompt. So might be a better way of handling it by file type in this case.
I see. And in use
Because I'm
cases,
actually doing this for so when I upload image through a WhatsApp, I will route to a GPT region, then extract the data, process finish, and then upload back into Stammer again.
mm.
So as that the Stammer can able to continue the next conversation.
Oh, that's smart. I mean, there we go. That's exactly what I was looking for. That's a great example of a use case. We'll make a note of that. Cool. And then second one is voice. So voice is becoming quite popular. We've added the 11 Labs and a free Google Voice version inside the chat widget. And now that the real-time API voice from OpenAI is now available, it's now basically good enough to start putting in a lot of other places. So aside from the ones that we've already built, like the live chat or the voice chat inside the widget, um, we're looking into other platforms like being able to connect it to a phone number with Twilio and potentially some other voice related apps outside of phone numbers. Is there any outside of phone numbers and maybe some sort of web widget that could have a real time back and forth voice conversation, which would definitely be in line with, I think, with the accessibility stuff, Tim? Is there any other channels or things that people are thinking of with voice specifically outside of phone numbers?
On the accessibility thing, I think I love the idea that you'll be able to have this converse, but getting to the part of the bot that allows you to have that conversation is the tricky bit right now. And again, you've done that bit of making it work, which is fantastic. We've got the integration with 11 Labs, amazing. It's like if we've got a user, so let's say we've got a user who's visually impaired, for example, how do they see the little microphone and the little widget to be able to interact with that voice? So it may
Yeah.
be that we build in some kind of initial sound prompt that says, would you like, it actually talks to them, would you like to have this conversation
Mm-hmm.
verbally, or do you want to use text?
Yeah.
That really gets us over that hurdle of them trying to navigate and find that little button
Got it.
to start that process working.
Okay. And
That's
the
a
way,
UX prompt, basically.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's I think where the real time chat will be able to be updated inside the chat widget. So like for example, right now there's still an input required to generate the response, which then it reads it back. The real-time API will allow the user to not have to type in anything. Obviously, they can just speak and it will start responding back and forth. And so I think that fundamentally changes the user interface to not have the small little microphone icon or whatever it is. It could just be the entire widget, for example, where it's just like a glow, kind of like ChatGPT, where there's like a glowing circle in the center or something, and it's just now speaking. And then, yeah, we could probably introduce some sort of audio notification that's completely optional for people to add to where it notifies the user that that is something that is available to them. Kind of like those website dings or something, but it could be customizable to respond back through the real-time chat widget. So, okay.
Even if it was something so, it's a little microphone or it's a little speaker in the interface right now.
Mm-hmm.
Even if that was, we had the ability to change that icon and put the word voice there, or with a little cross, and have
Got it.
just to make it so super easy to see and visualize.
Okay. Yeah. I think well, there's going to be a lot of good updates coming from all this shortly.
Hey, Tim, I have another question for you. With accessibility in mind, is there I don't know, a resource or a checklist or something that you use to try to keep all of that compliance in order?
No, I mean there is legislation in the UK right now. So if you're a government website, for example, it's mandatory that you have to adhere to a certain type of criteria with the way that that website performs. So the size of your font, color, uh, distinction, having accessibility tools on the website as well. So that is already legislated for those types of government authority website. In 2025, this actually becomes EU law for any business. So all businesses have to have acceptable accessibility functions within their website. And I think this is where, these bots are going to really come to their fore, because it's going to be that instant interaction where they can easily start to converse with people around the content that's on the website. So if they want to find information about a certain thing of a product, tickets, for example, or a product that they want to buy, then doing that verbally is going to be really easy. But it's about that accessibility piece. So there is a lot of legislation coming down the line on that. I reckon it's about June, I think, of 2025 when the EU Act comes into play.
Gotcha.
But we can probably dig out some stuff that we've already got here in the UK to share with you. There is a criteria which I can't just remember off the top of my head, but I'll dig that out for you and find out, share that in the group.
That would be awesome. We've had people ask about it here in the US as well. A lot of universities and government ask for the same types of things. So whatever we can do to get ahead a lot of that, because I'm sure it will eventually be rolled out to all businesses here as well.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah. And just working off of that, if anybody has any general questions, comments, concerns, we'll go into any just kind of general QA as we get more and more agencies using the platform. One of the things that we're starting to see, like the most successful agencies are doing, is using our platform or using Stammer to scale efficiently. So when you're just getting started, it might be the default to spend a lot of time trying to build these bots or optimize this stuff, especially if you tried other platforms in the past, which might be a little bit complicated, or some of the legacy platforms where you have to connect a bunch of things together. The thing that we're seeing most often now is the scale. So agencies that are trying to replicate and deploy these to 10, 20, 50 clients at a time. That's one of the ultimate benefits that Stammer is going to provide to anybody watching or listening on YouTube. So the ability to create new bots and then duplicate them into any new sub account that's automatically created allows your clients to have that immediate value add to their business, even if it's one of your templates that can be customized further. That's just something that we've been seeing that I wanted to mention. Any other platforms that people want to see integrations with, let us know in the Discord or via email or whatever it may be, and we can I'll make some tutorials for that. But I think if no one else has any questions,
just one quick one,
please.
So with regard to custom functions,
yeah,
would it be possible? So let's take the Shopify as an example. Let's say we want the bot to do a number of different things. So it might be returning information about delivery of product or an order. It might be returning an order status. Those are two different functions that it would perform within the Shopify. Is it possible to run multiple custom functions within one bot interface?
Yes. So it really comes down to the prompt first, and then the way that the custom code is interacting with those prompts. So what were the two things you mentioned? Order status, and what was the other one?
Order status and delivery information, for example.
Delivery, perfect. So in that scenario, that could actually be one custom function in theory. It could also be two, but in the scenario that it's one custom function, the code that is associated with that custom function would have the ability to pull both fields at the same time and return that information in one go, because it's coming from the same place. If those were two pieces of different information on different databases in different platforms, it could still be run from one prompt. It's just that middle code now is interacting with two different places. So the idea is
one was Shopify and one was DHL, then it would go off and do two different things.
Exactly. what we're trying to do with custom functions is we're taking away the complexity of having the AI to do the thinking. We're having the code do the quote unquote, the power or the process, and just sending and receiving data back to the AI agent, who then takes it, formats it into its response, and then sends it back. So it's like the AI agent isn't actually the one pulling the data from the stores. It's the code that's in between the two things. If that makes sense.
And does that bit of code then become effectively the agent, or is that just a piece of software script that's doing a job?
The second one, it's just a script that's doing its job. The AI agent is the one telling it to run the script and get the information back at runtime when it's talking to a user. So it's almost like the AI agent is the manager and the code is like the junior developer who's just doing all the work.
So I suppose if it's doing complex functions, that piece of replit code becomes much, much bigger and more harder to manage.
Exactly.
So back to the initial question. So could you have different code blocks for different scenarios?
Yeah. Yeah. So inside the code, and all of the examples that I have been creating, are the way that ChatGPT is helping me create them is by creating what's called the Flask app. And inside the Flask app, there's multiple functions that can be run. And each of those functions could be associated with a custom prompt or a custom function prompt. So inside the one section of code, and I believe the Shopify example, I do have multiple in there. It's being able to pull the inventory and being able to pull the inventory data. So it's one replit document, and inside that one replit document, there's one Flask app. Inside the one Flask app, there's two custom functions. One custom function is called get order tracking, and another one is called get product availability. And inside the Stammer AI prompt, there's a line that says, when a customer wants to know the order status, run the custom function, get product order status. And then another prompt and then another line below that says, if the customer wants to get product availability, run the custom function, get product availability. And those names, get product availability, are the same one that matches that custom function inside the Flask app, inside Replit.
I mean, Shopify is like the obvious example right now, but I can see so many multiple
Oh yeah,
examples down the line.
yeah. And once you create the app inside Shopify and assign it all of the permissions that you want, you can then duplicate that Shopify app for a specific client, or you can make that like your agency branded app. So you could then, in theory, deploy that to a lot of different stores, and then you're not having to rewrite a bunch of custom code every single time. Yeah, of course. And for everyone listening, all that information and tutorial is all available in the documentation on YouTube under the integrations for Shopify. It's like a 20-30 minute tutorial, but it's pretty cool. It really extends the functionality with these custom functions. Alrighty, so any last call questions? Anybody, anything? And I almost forgot. For everybody that is new to the agency world or SaaS world, we're launching a Skool community, and it's going to be free for everybody. And I almost forgot to announce it, but I'm going to announce it right now. So I just put the link in the chat. It's free to join right now. Within the next few days, we're going to move it to a paid community, and then it's going to go up in price every week until we find resistance or people just stop signing up or whatever. But I'm partnering up with one of my colleagues, Brock Jones, who was running a successful marketing and advertising agency, and he just exited and sold his agency and is now transitioning into starting his own SaaS platform. And so what we decided to do is document all of the strategies and templates and software that Brock used as an agency, which I've also realized is very familiar and very similar to the things that we are using to run our SaaS Stammer. And in terms of automated onboarding and client acquisition, lead generation, follow-ups, how to run sales meetings, all those things, all the core things of how to run a successful agency. And it's all going to be added to this Skool community over the next few weeks. We're going to do one video a week. Brock's going to do one tutorial video per week. and we're doing one call every Thursday where we're going to talk about the strategies that we're trying for advertising and kind of more general agency stuff. And yeah, Kat, I have a question unrelated to today's topics. Yeah, feel free to ask. But yeah, so join the Skool community. It's free for right now, but it won't be for very long. And I'm gonna post this in the Discord channel as well. And feel free to share and ask questions in there as well. Both Brock and I will be hanging out there every so often, or most days. Other Tim, anything you want to mention or wrap up here?
No, not that I can think of.
Tim said, I'm facing issues with Facebook Messenger not replying after I integrate it with my chatbot. Please, if you haven't already, open up a support ticket for that, and I'll send you the link.
They did. We did see that support ticket, and we are looking into it. There are some issues with the meta integrations. There's a lot of edge cases there, especially if you don't connect the type of account that it expects. So we're trying to work those out, and we've already released a lot of hot fixes for that. But yes, we did see that ticket, I believe, that you're referring to. So we will be jumping on that.
Perfect. Alrighty. I think that will do it for today. I hope everyone has a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Thank you. Take care.
Cheers, Rose. Thank you.
Yeah.